and welcome to episode 23 of Daisy Knits. And I'm Daisy. We're hanging out on the floor of my craft room. And it is Thursday. I'm a little bit late on this, but life yesterday was just insane. From about 9:20 yesterday morning until 4:15, I was in and out repeatedly. Like, for me, that's very unusual. So it was just crazy. Running all around, errands, kids, field trips, art class, doctor's appointments. It was insane. Anyways, so you get me today. And I'm sorry that it's not the normal. I try to shoot for Wednesdays, but it just didn't happen this week. So, and honestly, I'll tell you now, it probably won't happen next week. Can't guarantee anything about next week. So, anyways, we're here. We're hanging out. How y'all doing? Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here. You ready for some knitting? I have a few things to show you. All right, the very first thing I have is I have a finished object. I have Zara's socks. They're done. They have a German short row heel. They have anatomically correct toes. They're done. I will see her next weekend and I will pass these off to her then. I'm very interested to see how they fit her and if she likes them. I'm a little nervous. Just because you never know. I mean, it's somebody else's foot. You can't try it on as you go when they're not here with you. So, but they're done. They were almost done last week. They're done this week. I'm putting them up on the y'all are sitting on a bed. I put them on the bed with the whole, oh my gosh, I have so much yarn up here. I have a show next weekend, and so I've been dying like crazy, which I have a little bit. I'll show you some of what I was playing around with. I'd love your feedback. Anyways, I'm all over the board today, and I'm sorry. So, socks done. I have been working on 2 different projects, and actually, I have a baby hat downstairs that I cast on last night, or yesterday morning, and I finished yesterday, but I forgot to bring it up, so you don't get to see the baby hat, sorry. The other thing I'm working on is my bee leaf shawl, and it's riding around in a Willow Rose bag. Rainstorm Studios is the name of the shop. Willow Rose is the proprietress of that shop. My bee leaf shawl is actually by Sock Bunny. It is her pattern, and I'm using her yarn for it. It is the lavender lace weight in the amethyst colorway. I'm also using some beads by Gelding Lily, and these are dark purple iris metallic. That's what it says. That's the yarn. And I got some serious progress on this bad boy. I got to crank through some things. So that's how far I've gotten. I know it's a little bit hard to see. It's lace, and that's a beading section, and this is a lace section, and I have very dirty fingers, so let's do this side. I have dyed fingers, actually. They're not dirty, they're dyed. So that's what all I've managed to do this week. I'm really kind of proud of my progress, and I have a little progress keeper right here. So I'm going to pop this bad boy in before I forget, so I can show you my progress from last week, this week to next week. Can't guarantee it'll be as much, but there it is. These are being knit on a size US 6, 4.0 millimeter. These are my Royales from Knitter's Pride. And I love this pattern. It really is easy. It's a lace pattern, which I don't do a lot of lace, but the way she has it written is very nice. And I have mine's blinged out with stitch markers every pattern repeat, just so I can actually do it while I'm watching a movie with kids or while I'm trying to get dinner going here and there. So that's been getting actually quite a bit of love lately. The other thing that I have going on is what I'm referring to as my precious. My precious that I need to make sure I remember to read before I buy patterns again. It's the Garden at Nighttime lace shawl. Lace scarf. I think I told y'all last week my PSA about reading before you buy something to make sure it is what you think it is. Knitted lace should be charted, to me. Written is great, charted is good. I need charts. So I sat down, and over the course of the last week, I charted it myself, and I have those charts saved. And I will probably send those on to the designer. But because I've sat down and I charted it, I was able to get some progress. Put my face there. Can you see? So, I mean, it's not like a ton of progress, but it's pretty decent progress, I think. And of course, I got this one blinged out too with all kinds of stitch markers. And I'm going to put a stitch marker in here as well so I can see our progress. But this Kiviot is amazing. The yarn is 100% Kiviot that I got when we were in Alaska in 2011. This is one that a group of us chat together, and we challenged ourselves and each other to pull out a precious and say, I am going to knit this. And this was my precious, by far my precious. I am doing this on a US 4, a 3.5 millimeter, and it is traveling around in a bag that a friend made me, and she's horrified I'm still carrying it because it's Christmas, and yeah, we're coming up on Easter, but I don't care. I love it. A friend gave it to me, and so it means a lot to me, but that's okay. It's riding around in this one. Those are my two works in progress. They're both lace weight, and I don't know what possessed me to do both lace weight right now, but that's what I have going. I was Big Fat Liar Liar Pants, and I did not start any Master Knitter stuff. I haven't started any more colorwork stuff, just because right now I feel like both of these are kind of taking a lot of brain width, and I don't have the extra to do the colorwork yet. I'm hoping that, and honestly, I have a lot of stuff coming up. In the next week, I will be doing traveling. I've got a show next weekend that I'm prepping for. The kids are going to go to Mom's house for the week and a half. And my husband flies out to Taiwan for a week to do a mission trip. So, I feel like I have a lot of things going crazy, and I need to focus and simplify just a little bit. However, as soon as he flies out, I will spend 4 days at home alone. I've never spent 4 days in my house alone. Alone. So I'm not sure what all is going to happen, but we will cross that bridge as we get there. I might have a ton of knitting just because there's nobody saying, hey, I want to eat now. I don't know. We'll see. But I will show you what's been happening around in my dye pots this week. I posted a picture on Instagram probably 2 weeks now of this colorway, and it was a hot mess, and it's not quite true to color. Let's see. I did it on a few different bases. So we have a little bit of brown, a little bit of orange, a little bit of red, and it's more of almost like a periwinkle, dark purpley blue colorway. More this over here from what I'm seeing. So I love this colorway. It was inspired by a picture a friend posted of a Montana, I think it was a sunrise or a sunset. Montana was what this was inspired by. So this has been coming out of the dye pots to go for YarnCon. The other thing I've been playing with in my dye pots is, I call them like baby gradients. I know gradients are really popular right now, and I wasn't really going to play with them, except for I found these little bitty skeins. So it's the same yarn that's in our Dewy sock base, except for I made they're little baby skeins. So here's it in greens. So as you go across, they get darker. I don't know if you can see. Some of them are really subtle. Some of them are much more vibrant. But let me tell you the correct number. Each skein has 87 yards in it. So this is 87 yards. So when you put it together, you have 261 yards, which isn't like a lot, but if you were to put two of these together, that gives you a massive amount. It gives you over 500 and what? Let's see if I can do math quickly here. 522 yards. 520? We'll say 520 yards. That's a pretty decent amount. Yeah, you'll have more ends to weave in than you normally would. But I have a pattern rolling around in the back of my brain that I just need to sit down and just design it, hash it out, of something that would use these up. So we've been doing a lot of these, and I have a lot of different colors. I probably right now have about 15 or 20 colors down there, not just these 3. So this is actually what all is on my drying rack right now, which is why my fingers are lovely colors, because I will forget to put a glove on when I dye. So it happens, right? I'm not the only one. I'm sure I'm not the only dyer out there who's got dirty fingers. Dyed fingers, not really dirty. But anyways, that's kind of what's going on. I'd love it if you guys would let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the little baby gradients. Leave me a message, or you can contact me. All my contact information will be at the back of the podcast. Otherwise, catch me on Ravelry. I'll talk to you later. See ya.